Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Over the last 9 months, I've been developing this speech titled, From Middle Management to the Corner Office, 21 Leadership Strategies that will take you there. And tonight I will share 3 of those with you. Leadership strategy number 12, choose not to use profanity. Over the last 50 years, some amazing things have happened in our culture, one of which is our amazing advancements in medicine. 3 years ago, my grandson James just couldn't wait to get his life started. James came to us 2 months early at just under 2 pounds. And he spent the first 6 weeks of his life in ICU. Several times we nearly lost him. And 50 years ago, we would have lost him. But due to our amazing advancements in medicine, today I get to chase him around the house and pull him up and down the street in his red wagon. However, over the last 50 years, ladies and gentlemen, we've lost something decent, really precious in this industry, or in this culture. We have lost decency. What on earth has happened to our language? It seems like so many people cannot convey even a casual message without profanity. Let me tell you something. Profanity is the language of the uneducated. Profanity is the language of the unsuccessful. If you will keep your ears open, you will notice an inverse relationship between the use of profanity and how far one has advanced in life. I've got a leadership strategy for you. Clean up your language. Jennifer Kahnweiler, author of The Introverted Leader, Building Your Quiet Strengths, said, using foul language can make it difficult to fit into a professional environment. She went on to say that perceptions are important in shaping your career. You don't want to be seen as a foul-mouthed person. Suzanne Lucas, a writer and human resources expert, says, similar to a disheveled appearance or tardiness, profanity can affect the way you are perceived at work. She goes on to say that even if you do great work, cursing can hurt your ability to get promoted. Leadership strategy number 13, observe the behavior of your CEO and do what he or she does. How many hours a day does your CEO put in? Do you really think he or she got to where they are by putting in 8-hour days? How much more does your CEO know about your customers than you do? How much more does your CEO know about your competitors, know about your industry? The difference between what you know and what your CEO knows is called the gap. Now, in order to get that next promotion, I would suggest that you fill the gap and learn as much about your industry as your CEO. However, let me challenge you here. Why not know more about your customers, competitors, and industry than your CEO? Come on now, just how badly do you want this thing called success? How does your CEO dress? Do you dress like your CEO or do you dress like a slob? And if you say, well, John, I don't dress like a slob. Well, you know, you probably don't. But let me ask you this. Do you dress like a middle manager? And if you don't know how a middle manager dresses, then I suggest you find out. Clothes cover 90 to 95% of your body and speak volumes about where you are and where you are going or not going. If you only dress like the person you're in, if you only dress like the position you're in, that's probably where you're going to stay. So, leadership strategy number 14. If you lay down with dogs, you'll rise up with fleas. I love that one. My daddy used to say that to me. What that is to say is do not mingle with coworkers who are not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, don't mingle with anybody who's not trying to make something out of his or her life. This is what the gurus will teach you. Researchers conducted this particular study, and the conclusion at which they arrived showed that you will make exactly in the middle of the 4 people that you hang out with most. Of the 4, 2 will earn more per year than you, and 2 will earn less. Now, what the gurus will teach you is that in order to raise your income, what you've got to do is disassociate yourself with those 2 people who make less than you do. That's right. Just tell them goodbye. Is it me or does that seem a little cold? See, the problem I have with telling my 2 friends who make less money than I do is the fact that they both have a very high moral character. And if I tell them goodbye, I will just fly in the face of some things that I think are very important. In my book, From C-Student to Success, The College Student's Guide to Success and Wealth, I say that you succeed second with what you do. You succeed first with what you are. I go on to say that having a high moral character must be at the foundation of achieving your success. So, Telling two friends adios of high moral character just because they make less money than I do, well, in my mind, that would make me a lot of things bad. And being a hypocrite would be one of them. Nobody likes a hypocrite. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, the way I see it, you do two things. Number one, keep that statistic that I mentioned and keep that research in mind. And number two, use your best judgment. Toastmaster?